Blackout Coffee. Fresh roasted, bold flavors, serving heroes on the front lines.
Blackout! Blackout Coffee, baby!
Blackout Coffee!
Since day one, Blackout Coffee has been built on a strong brand with a passionate fan base. Our growth over the last 4 years has been a testament to the high standard of our coffee. From the ingredients we use to the values as a company we have, quality is something Blackout Coffee drinkers expect. Blackout Coffee is positioned for continued growth.
The year was 1775. Tension gripped the American colonies, a tension that had been building for years. The simmering discontent with British rule had finally boiled over, leading to widespread unrest. The battles of Lexington and Concord had ignited a firestorm of rebellion, marking the beginning of open conflict. A new chapter in history was about to be written, one that would change the course of the world. On the outskirts of Boston, a fateful encounter loomed, one that would test the resolve of both the British and the American colonists. It would be known as the Battle of Bunker Hill, a name that would echo through the halls of history. This clash would test the mettle of both sides, pushing them to their limits. It would become a pivotal moment in the American Revolutionary War, a turning point that would shape the future of the nation. The Battle of Bunker Hill was more than just a military engagement. It was a symbol of the struggle for freedom. It was a clash of ideologies, a battle between the old world and the new. It pitted the might of the British Empire against the unyielding spirit of American colonists determined to fight for their freedom no matter the odds. This battle would expose the complexities of the conflict, revealing the deep-seated issues that fueled the revolution. It would lay bare the sacrifices demanded in the pursuit of liberty. Sacrifices that would be remembered for generations. Most importantly, it would reveal the unwavering resolve that would come to define the American spirit, a spirit that would not be easily broken. The events leading up to Bunker Hill were a powder keg waiting to explode, with tensions running high on both sides. The British, caught off guard by the ferocity of the colonial resistance at Lexington and Concord, found themselves in a precarious position, unsure of their next move. Their attempts to assert control over the rebellious colonies had backfired, leading to increased resistance and defiance. The situation demanded a decisive response, one that would either crush the rebellion or galvanize it further. The colonists, emboldened by their early successes, were eager to prove their strength on the battlefield, ready to take on the might of the British Empire. They were determined to defend their hard-won liberties, no matter the cost, willing to lay down their lives for the cause of freedom. The stage was set for a confrontation that would shape the destiny of a nation, a battle that would be remembered for its intensity and significance. The Battle of Bunker Hill would be a brutal and bloody affair, a true test of courage and endurance. It would test the limits of human endurance, pushing soldiers to their breaking points. But it would also serve as a catalyst, forging the spirit of a new nation, a nation built on the ideals of liberty and justice for all. Have you ever wondered why we know so little about something as crucial as the American Constitution? Hi, I'm Casey, and I'm about to take you on a journey that will change all of that. At InspiredAmericaHQ.com, I've written articles that will bring back to life the extraordinary individuals who sparked the American Revolution. These aren't just dry historical facts. They tell stories of courage, conviction, and the relentless pursuit of freedom. As you watch this video, you're going to see thumbnails of my deep dive researched articles. Each one peels back a layer of history, revealing the events and personalities that shaped the Constitution as we know it today. From the tyrannical rule of King George III to the birth of a new nation, every article at InspiredAmericaHQ.com is a piece of the puzzle. Together, they paint a vivid picture of how American Constitution came to be. Ready to discover the untold stories behind the American fight for freedom? Visit InspiredAmericaHQ.com and be prepared to be inspired. The aftermath of Lexington and Concord was a tense stalemate, a moment of uneasy calm after the storm of battle. The British, reeling from the unexpected ferocity of the colonial resistance, found themselves besieged in Boston, their morale shaken and their plans in disarray. Colonial militias, a ragtag but determined force, had effectively blockaded the city by land, cutting off British supply lines and isolating them from reinforcements. The British, under the command of Lieutenant General Thomas Gage, were trapped, their every move watched by vigilant colonial eyes. They desperately needed to break free from the colonial encirclement, to regain the initiative and restore their dominance. For the colonists, the situation was precarious but promising. They had shown their mettle, but the road ahead was fraught with danger. They had drawn first blood, demonstrating their willingness to fight for their rights, to stand up against what they saw as tyranny. However, they were acutely aware of the might of the British Empire, a formidable adversary with vast resources and a powerful military. They knew that a prolonged conflict would test their resources and resolve, pushing them to their limits and beyond. Amidst this uncertainty, both sides sought to gain a strategic advantage, to outmaneuver the other and secure a decisive victory. The British, recognizing the need to control the high ground surrounding Boston, set their sights on two prominent hills, Bunker Hill and Breed's Hill, key positions that could turn the tide of the conflict. These hills offered commanding views of the city and its harbor, making them strategically vital for both offensive and defensive purposes, a prize both sides coveted. The colonists, aware of the British intentions, also recognized the importance of these hills, understanding that control here could be a game changer. They knew that control of the high ground could tip the scales in their favor, giving them a crucial advantage in the struggle ahead. A race against time ensued, a silent contest to seize the initiative, with both sides preparing for the inevitable clash. The fate of Boston, and perhaps the future of the colonies, hung in the balance as the stage was set for a pivotal confrontation that would shape the course of history. As the sun dipped below the horizon on June 16th, 1775, a sense of anticipation hung thick in the air. The sky was painted in hues of orange and red, casting a dramatic backdrop to the unfolding events. Under the cover of darkness, colonial militia, approximately 1,200 strong, silently made their way towards Breed's Hill. Each step was taken with caution, their hearts pounding with the weight of the mission ahead. Led by Colonel William Prescott, a seasoned veteran of the 7 Years' War, these men were about to embark on a daring mission. Prescott's experience and leadership were crucial, instilling confidence in the men who followed him. Their orders were clear: fortify Breed's Hill and prepare for a British assault. The gravity of the task was not lost on them. They knew the British forces were formidable and well trained. Working feverishly throughout the night, the colonists, illuminated only by the faint glow of lanterns, transformed the landscape. The flickering lights revealed determined faces, each man driven by a sense of duty and hope for a better future. Shovels bit into the earth, piling up dirt and stone to form a crude but effective redoubt atop the hill. The sound of digging and the clinking of tools echoed in the night, a testament to their relentless effort. By daybreak, a formidable defensive position overlooked the Charlestown Peninsula. The rising sun revealed the fruits of their labor, a stronghold that stood as a beacon of their resolve. Despite their lack of formal military training, the colonists displayed remarkable determination and ingenuity. They improvised with what they had, turning everyday tools into instruments of war. They understood the importance of their task. Every shovel of dirt, every stone placed, was a step towards securing their freedom and protecting their homes. They were not just building fortifications, they were building a symbol of defiance against an empire. Each fortification was a statement, a declaration of their unwillingness to be subdued. As the first rays of dawn pierced the darkness, the colonists, exhausted but resolute, stood ready to face the full might of the British Army. Their faces, though weary, were set with determination and courage. The fate of Boston and perhaps the future of the colonies hung in the balance. The outcome of the impending battle would shape the course of history. The die was cast. The Battle of Bunker Hill was about to begin. This moment marked a pivotal point in the struggle for independence, a test of their resolve and unity. The morning of June 17th, 1775, dawned bright and clear over Boston Harbor. The tranquility of the early hours was shattered by the roar of British cannons. The Battle of Bunker Hill had begun. From their ships in the harbor, the British unleashed a thunderous bombardment upon the colonial positions atop Breed's Hill. The earth shook. Smoke filled the air, yet the colonial lines held firm. Across the narrow stretch of water separating the Charlestown Peninsula from Boston, British troops assembled. Under the command of Major General William Howe, they prepared to make their assault. Row upon row of redcoats, their muskets glinting in the morning sun, boarded longboats. They made their way towards the waiting colonial lines. The first wave of British troops, confident in their superior numbers and discipline, marched towards Breed's Hill in disciplined formation. They presented an imposing target. Colonel Prescott, observing the advancing redcoats, is said to have uttered the now famous words, "Don't shoot until you see the whites of their eyes." His order was a testament to the colonists' limited ammunition and their desperate need to make every shot count. When the British were within close range, a deadly hail of musket fire erupted from the colonial lines. The impact was devastating. British ranks were mowed down.
The Battle of Bunker Hill, which actually took place primarily on Breed's Hill on June 17, 1775, ended as a Pyrrhic victory for the British forces. While the British eventually took control of the Charlestown Peninsula, including Bunker and Breed's Hills, they suffered heavy casualties in the process. The colonial militia, though forced to retreat due to depleted ammunition, inflicted significant losses on the British, with nearly half of the 2,200 British troops engaged in the battle killed or wounded. The battle boosted American morale significantly, demonstrating that their militia could stand against regular British Army troops. It also convinced the British that the colonial forces were a more formidable opponent than initially assumed, leading to a more cautious approach in future engagements. The Battle of Bunker Hill, despite its outcome, became a powerful symbol of American resistance and determination in the early stages of the Revolutionary War.